Imagine a man who lost everything for the cause of freedom. That man was Francis Lewis. Born in Llandaff, Wales in the early 18th century, Francis was no stranger to adversity. Orphaned at a young age, he was raised by an aunt and uncle who instilled in him the values of resilience and independence. He journeyed across the Atlantic, leaving his Welsh roots behind to seek fortune in the bustling city of New York. There, Francis Lewis transformed from a humble Welsh lad to a prominent figure in the American colonies. He became a successful merchant, a respected community leader, and most notably, a signer of the United States Declaration of Independence. His life was marked by a deep commitment to the cause of liberty, a cause for which he was willing to sacrifice everything. He was a man who believed in the power of the people, the promise of a new nation, and the pursuit of freedom. This is the tale of a true patriot, Francis Lewis. Francis Lewis, a man of humble beginnings, was born in Wales in the year 1713. A child of the beautiful Welsh countryside, his life was one steeped in the simplicity and tranquility of rural living. But this tranquility was short-lived. At a tender age, Francis was confronted with an unimaginable tragedy, the death of his parents. This heartbreak, however, didn't break him. It instead instilled in him a resilience that would mark his journey ahead. With no immediate family to turn to, Francis was sent to live in London, a bustling city that was a stark contrast to his peaceful Welsh village. Here he was provided an education, a privilege not common in those times. He immersed himself in his studies, showing a particular fondness for the world of commerce. This fondness would steer the course of his life, leading him to become one of the most influential merchants of his time. As he grew older, the call of adventure beckoned him. In his early 20s, Francis decided to leave the familiar shores of England behind and set sail across the vast Atlantic. His destination, the New World, a land of promise and opportunities, America. The journey was fraught with danger and uncertainty, but Francis was undeterred. For him, it was a voyage of hope, a chance to build a life of his own. Upon arriving in America, Francis quickly made his mark. His knowledge and experience in commerce proved invaluable, helping him establish successful trade enterprises. But more than that, his move to America marked the beginning of a profound personal transformation. The man who had once been a simple Welsh boy, then a studious Londoner, was now a thriving American businessman. A new chapter began for Francis Lewis as he set foot in America. In America, Francis Lewis's life took a turn as he ventured into the world of commerce. He started trading goods, a venture that would eventually establish him as one of the most successful merchants of his time. From New York to London, his business footprint stretched across continents, solidifying his influence in the world of trade. His keen eye for opportunity led him to form partnerships with influential figures, further expanding his commercial empire. He was not just a businessman, but a savvy navigator of international trade, negotiating deals that would yield him significant wealth. Lewis's reputation as a merchant prince was not handed to him on a silver platter, but was the result of years of hard work, strategic alliances, and an uncanny ability to sniff out profitable ventures. But Francis Lewis was more than just a successful merchant. He was a man of resilience and ambition, whose commercial success was merely one facet of his multifaceted life. As the winds of revolution stirred in America, Francis Lewis answered the call. As the colonies began to chafe under British rule, Lewis stepped from the world of commerce into the political arena. He was a man of conviction and courage, ready to put his principles before personal gain. Lewis was a key player in the American Revolution, using his extensive business connections to ensure the colonies had the supplies they needed. He was a man of action, not just words, and his efforts helped keep the revolutionary cause alive. But it wasn't just through logistics that Lewis made his mark on the revolution. He was a voice for the colonies, a representative of New York in the Continental Congress. In the hallowed halls of the Congress, Lewis was a steadfast advocate for independence. He was unyielding in his belief that the colonies had the right to govern themselves, and he was not afraid to voice this conviction. His passion was infectious, his arguments compelling, He was a true revolutionary in every sense of the word. And then came the moment that would etch his name into the annals of history. On a hot summer day in July of 1776, Lewis picked up a quill and signed the Declaration of Independence. With that single act, he committed himself to the cause of freedom, knowing full well the dangers that lay ahead. It was a bold move, a declaration not just of independence, but of defiance. But Lewis was not deterred. He knew the road to freedom was fraught with peril, but he was prepared to make the journey. He was willing to risk everything for the cause he believed in. And that, my friends, is the mark of a true revolutionary. Francis Lewis was not just a signer. He was a man who sacrificed for the cause of freedom. He was a man who put his principles before his personal safety, who put the cause of freedom before his own comfort. He was a man who lived his convictions, and in doing so, helped shape the course of a nation. He was, in every sense, a revolutionary. For Francis Lewis, the fight for freedom came at a great cost. The price of liberty often demands a steep investment, and for Francis Lewis, the cost was deeply personal. British forces, in a bid to strike at the heart of the revolution, targeted the homes and families of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. Lewis's estate was not spared. His beautiful home in Whitestone, New York, was destroyed, reduced to ashes. But the devastation didn't stop there. His beloved wife, Elizabeth Annesley Lewis, was captured by the British. The toll it took on her health was immense. She was held under deplorable conditions, without proper food, water, or medical attention. This was a deliberate move by the British, a brutal attempt to break the spirit of a man who had dared to defy them. Yet despite this cruel blow, Francis Lewis didn't falter. His commitment to the cause of liberty never wavered. He continued to serve in Congress, undeterred by the personal tragedy that had befallen him. His resilience was a testament to his unyielding belief in the principles of freedom and independence. After Elizabeth's release, her health tragically deteriorated, leading to her death in 1779. Lewis was left to mourn the loss of his wife, a casualty in the fight for freedom. Yet, even in his grief, he remained resolute. Francis Lewis's legacy is not just that of a signer of the Declaration of Independence. It is a legacy of sacrifice, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to the cause of liberty. His life serves as a stark reminder that the path to freedom is often paved with personal sacrifice and loss. He left behind a legacy that has resonated through the centuries. His story is a testament to the enduring spirit of those who fought for the freedoms we enjoy today. It's a legacy that reminds us that the cost of freedom is often high, but the value of liberty is priceless. Despite the hardships, Francis Lewis remained steadfast till the end. Francis Lewis was a man who truly embodied the spirit of the American Revolution. A man of humble beginnings, he proved that one's past doesn't define their future. Born in Wales, orphaned at a tender age, he faced numerous struggles. But these hardships did not deter him. Instead, they forged him into a man of remarkable resilience and determination. He ventured into the world of commerce, earning the title of the Merchant Prince. His business acumen led him to accumulate wealth and influence, yet he chose to use these for the greater good. He could have lived a life of luxury and ease, but Francis Lewis chose a different path. He chose the path of revolution. As the winds of change swept across America, Lewis stood firmly with the revolutionaries. He put everything on the line for the cause he believed in: liberty and independence. His sacrifices were great. His home was destroyed, his wife captured and mistreated by the British. Yet he never wavered. He remained steadfast, his spirit unbroken. Lewis's contributions to the American Revolution were significant. As a signatory of the Declaration of Independence, he helped birth a new nation. Yet his story often remains untold, overshadowed by more famous figures. But it's in stories like his we find the true essence of the American spirit. Francis Lewis's legacy is one of courage, resilience, and unwavering commitment to freedom. He stands as a beacon, reminding us of the sacrifices made for the liberties we enjoy today. His story is a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who believe in the cause of freedom and are willing to fight for it. So let's cherish and remember figures like Francis Lewis. They are the unsung heroes, the hidden gems in the vast tapestry of history. Their stories inspire us, teach us, and remind us of our roots. In the story of Francis Lewis, we find the story of America itself, brave, resilient, and fiercely independent.